Hi there and welcome back to Pierpoint. We're in the final stages of preparing the tip section now, so I've taken all the guides off all the way down. Okay, and these areas are just a little bit on the rough side, so we just need to do a little bit of work on those. So what I've done is I've put a brand new knife blade in there. Okay, so we are now going to just go over those areas with this sharp blade, and you should be able to feel any lumps and bumps with your thumb and forefinger. So it's just a gradual process. Don't forget this is quite sharp, so it's a brand new blade. Okay, so that's all we're going to do. Just check in. Just make sure that that's as smooth as possible. There's just a couple of things there where we've got that ridge line where the high build was originally. Okay, just taking those off. And then down to this one. Yeah, that's all you're doing, is just smoothing that down. It won't take a lot off, it'll just be a very small amount. Okay, and then just work all the way down on the blade. Okay, any bumps and scratches. And that's all you're doing. Again, it's just taking it off as just a little bit of fine dust. We've got two more to do. There's nothing worse than having those ridges trying to pop up through your thread. Okay, there's a little bit more on this bit. And sometimes it helps if you want to do the ridge on this side, the opposite side. I'll show you that bit in a minute. When you just turn the rod round, okay, and then you come at it from this direction. Same on that side. There might be a bit of twisting and turning to do, but I'm sure you get the general idea. I'll turn that back. I'm just going to work on this bit down here. Okay. Just those critical areas, so there's a bit more on there. You might be able to see a bit of staining there. But be very careful on this bit here because it's almost down to the fibres of the blank, so it could end up to be a weak point. This is the first guide at the bottom of the tip section. Okay, you want to be really careful with that, because if you go in too deep and you hit those fibres, and certainly when you come to cast, that just becomes a weak point in the rod. But I'm quite happy with that, so we've done all of that. Okay, so now we go back to our 800 and 400 wet and dry. Okay, so there we go, the 800 to 400. So I'm going to start with the 800 and then just start to take this down a little bit further, so you can see straight away that, okay, you're just taking off that last bit of high build and then just smoothing that down. Okay, haven't removed the tip yet, we'll worry about that towards the end. Okay, should be quite a quick process because you've done most of the work. So when you come to the in-between bit, in between the guides, that should only need a gentle rub down. There was nothing too much on there apart from the sticky stuff from the tip tape. Okay, you don't want to take too much of that off because that's just giving that blank a bit more protection. Okay, the main areas to work on are, as you can see, where the guide foot was. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And again, if it's a little bit stubborn, then you go back to your 240 grade. Okay, so there's the 240. And again, you'd be very careful. This is great for just taking off that high build. It's just a little bit on the proud side that your 800 and 400 can't get off, but you have to be careful that you don't go down to the blank, to the fibres. Okay, so we're just doing a pretty good job there. Okay, we're still going. So I just wanted to show you this bit here because we've taken that down with our 240 and it's just still looking a bit, I don't want to go too far because that is fairly well impregnated into the blank, but it's just a little bit lumpy and bumpy. So what you can do, you get to that stage, just go over with your Stanley knife blade and do the best you can. I'm already thinking that I've got to glaze this. If that doesn't come out too well, it still looks a little bit lumpy and bumpy, then I may have to put an under wrap on this guide foot placing, which is the first one up the tip section. I'm hoping I don't have to, but just to cover it over, we may just have to do that. But we'll have to see how that comes out once we've re-glazed the blank. Okay, so just scrape off those little bits, just to try and make it smooth. I'm just guessing that because that's the first position of the tip and it's taken all the grunt work of the cast, that first guide has probably been just sort of digging into the plank just a little bit more. As you can see, that's gone down there. Right, very well pleased with that. So we're just going to finish off the bottom section here. So I've already done a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to put our 400 down there. Okay, just to finish all that off. And we're virtually there. Okay, so we've done all of that. Okay, quite pleased with that. So the final piece of the jigsaw is we then need to clean this up. Okay, so we've got our lint-free cloth and we're just going to take the worst of the dust off, and then you can see it's starting to get a bit of an effect on that. Okay, you can see some of the purple coming off. Okay, so it's not so warm today, so we need our methylated spirits. That'll flash off quite quick anyway. Okay, so we just put a little piece on our cloth as we did before, and then we're just going to start to clean this up. Okay, and then you can see just getting rid of that grime, squeaky clean as they say. Okay, and then just work that all the way down. You can see a lot of the dirt coming off, there's brown in there as well, so that's all that contamination of the rod. Okay, we've got most of our purple still in place. As you can see down there where it's gone back to the blank, you can't odds that, but that'll get covered. What we're looking at trying to do is to keep as much of that colour alive as we possibly can in between the guide foot placings which we've got. Okay, just take that off there and all the way down. So that's all the dust and debris. You want to get as much of that off as you possibly can, because you don't want that to contaminate your high build. Okay, so we've done that once, and I'm just going to go over it again very quickly. Okay, so that's all you need, just a small bit of mess. Always working methodically and logically. Start at the top and just work your way down. Okay, and you're just about there. Okay, now that you've got all the furniture off, you can see that my yellow Chinograph mark is still there, and that shows me that the original guide positions are on the top of the rod.